Ladies and gentlemen, I finished off the main assignment. I spent my time off recording and taking care of side quests.
Hey, remind me, just what exactly are we all doing here?
What do you mean? We're helping people, aren't we?
Could have fooled me. Lately it feels like everything we're doing ends up half-baked. We liberated the people of Pelagian, but their hearts and minds are no less under the yoke than the day we found them. As for Volron's cronies, we have no idea where they scampered off to.
You think I don't already know all that? We're doing everything we can, aren't we? We didn't choose to get stuck here. Sometimes you have to play the hand you're dealt. Besides, you've seen all the same things I have. You know as well as I do that deposing the lords alone won't solve all the world's problems.
Rinwell's right. We've gotten this far, haven't we? We can't just leave things unfinished now.
I guess? I mean, I didn't think we'd be singing around the campfire as soon as the wall came down, but still.
The fight isn't over just yet. At least not while Lenegis remains a threat.
I'm just sick of all this waiting. If they're gonna invade, why don't they get a move on already?
Stop that! Don't you think we've got enough problems as it is without you tempting fate?
What was I gonna say? Need to turn down the music a little bit. Let's see, music. Well, I guess the music turned up. Sound effects I guess can go a little higher. I guess that'll be. Okay, anyway, what I was saying was this. Like I say, I thought that was the end of the game, but apparently not. Apparently I have a long way to go. It's just Act 2 now. Alright, this is my first official mission since Part 2.
Very well.
Well.
Hey.
Pardon me.
Oh boy.
What the hell?
Hold up.
These guys not realize who we are?
Doesn't seem that way. You must think we're just Danans from the town.
Whatever's going on, these are Volron's soldiers. Watch yourselves.
Air pressure! You're mine! Resonate with the air! Stalagmite!
Lightning
Where are you going?
A banana! Back up! Lightning! Downfall!
Burn it out!
Hold on tight!
Take it!
Not in your dreams!
No escape!
By the
I'll thank you! Seismic
Demon Fang! Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Radiant light! Here!
Radiant
I'm on the
Take it! Hurricane Thrust! Hurricane Thrust!
I can carve through!
Leave the chargers to me!
No further!
Now! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Yeah.
Hey. You don't say.
Well...
Well?
How?
Oh, wow!
So then,
I can't believe how quickly you got all... all those soldiers to obey you, Dohalim.
actually, they were abiding Renin hierarchy. Not me personally.
Well, either way, it solved the problem, and that's what counts. Always good to be back in familiar territory.
I've talked to the soldiers and made it clear that they are to remain in line. Things should stay calm for the time being.
I know Renins tend to take authority extremely seriously, but you sure know how to throw your weight around as a former lord.
I only managed to get through to them because Volron's curse is lifting, but not to the extent that they can act independently as of yet. Considering we had other matters to attend to for the past month, we should consider ourselves lucky that nothing occurred during our absence.
But if they do start operating independently again, that's going to cause a whole new set of problems to deal with.
Indeed. Ganeth Heros is unlike Menencia. Without intervention, they'll likely revert to oppressing the Danans as they were doing before.
Meaning there's still a lot of work to be done in this realm. Not that there aren't problems among the Danans, too.
Yes. There was no way to avoid the deep-seated conflicts that had festered here. But I just hate that we had to use your position as a lord to solve the situation, Dohalim.
Had I not intervened, yet more blood would have spilled here, and nobody wishes for that.
So, what's going to happen to the Renins here now?
Why do you ask?
We've stripped the soldiers of their armor and locked them up. They can't hurt you guys anymore. I promise.
So they're alive? They're not going to die?
What?
Those people deceived us. They did terrible, terrible things to us. They made us suffer. Long before you guys came along. For years and years and years. It was constant. Never stopped. Not even for a day. So many people died. Our parents, our children.
They showed that hand for a reason. Alright, those embed things in the hand's the problem.
Our friends, they all died. They were murdered, and it was the Renins. The Renins were the ones who did it. They killed us. Why do they get to live after so many of us have...
You know, I take notice we can't see his eyes. In another world, he'd be the hentai protagonist. Or the ugly bastard. Or both.
died? The bastards should die. Every last one of them!
Who's he pointing to?
I know how you feel, Ganya. I used to be a slave, and I hated the Renins just like you. I took up the blazing sword to bring them down. But along the way, I've met many people and seen many things. People refusing the hand life dealt them. People who have lost loved ones, but are still trying to make this world a better place. People driven by hate who stopped before it was too late. And those who couldn't and paid with their lives. And I fought plenty of people who were all too happy to make others suffer. Believe me. But after a while, I came to realize that it's not the Renins who are our true enemies.
Then what the hell are we fighting if it's not them?
We're fighting against anyone who tries to take what doesn't belong to them.
But that's what these Renins are doing.
That's what I
How
was
is
gonna
that
say.
any different?
Because I judge
that.
everyone by their own actions. That goes for Danans too. Because at the end of the day, at the root of all evils committed is an individual who committed them.
You're right, Alphen. It seems like people are either blaming an entire race for one individual's sins, or an individual for everyone else's mistakes. But all that does is add more hate in a world that's already full of it. I want to help create a society where people can finally stop suffering and move beyond their pain. But if we try to do that with more violence, then we'll just end up right back where we started in the first place.
All right. Have it your way. I can't argue with the folks that helped us get back our ability to think and speak freely again.
Is that to say you trust us then?
I don't trust the Renins as far as I can throw them. I trust you guys because of who you are and what you've done.
Fair enough. We won't let you down, Ganya.
What's the matter, Kisara? Is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing. It's fine, really. I'm just a bit worried about what'll happen to all these folks.
Right. It'll take time before they start thinking for themselves again.
Indeed, that is part of it. However, what I'm even more worried about is what will happen to them after that. What do you think they're going to want once they realize how cruel Volron was to them?
Probably revenge.
What happened to Ganeth Haros is the worst form of oppression we've seen, but treated cruelly or kindly, slaves will rise up.
Lenegis aside, there are still remnants of Renin supremacists scattered throughout Dana.
You mean all that trouble we went through to get rid of the Lords might just lead to more violence? That's the last thing I want to see happen.
Of course not. And if we don't do something to prevent it all from starting up again, there could be even more bloodshed for us to regret. There's still a lot we don't know about the Renin rulers. Whatever the face of truth behind their veil, it's on us to put a stop to them. But there is one thing that's clear. Whatever we do to finally end it, our motives can't be getting back at the Renins, or it'll all be for nothing.
So, what exactly is it that you're saying? That we should just act as if nothing happened?
Law's right. We can't expect everyone to just forget all the pain they've endured up until now. Not so easily, at least.
But we have to at least try to change course. We can't just keep allowing history to repeat itself like this.
Exactly. Look, I won't deny that between the crown contest and 300 years of oppression, there's a lot of bad blood between the Danans and the Renins. But all these problems are just too big for us to try to carry the burden on our own. We'll keep doing our part in the interim, but we need to take this one battle at a time.
Glad that work's taken care of.
I don't think we're done just yet. I want you all to stick around a little longer. There might still be people who need our help.
When you think about it, thinking for yourself can be a heavy responsibility at times.
Yeah, it's not like your mind will only ever think about good, happy things for one.
Maybe so. But I'll still take that burden over living life as a puppet serving others.
Is it just me, or was today's dinner a little low on salt?
I felt that it was seasoned perfectly, so as to bring out the flavor of the ingredients.
Last taste buds are still like a kid's, so if his food isn't rich enough, I bet he doesn't feel like he's eaten anything at all.
Don't make fun of me. We all need salt in order to survive.
He has a point. You do lose stamina if you don't get enough salt in your body.
Yeah, I remember seeing people trying to lick the rocks back in Calaglia.
What? Why would anybody do that?
Sometimes you can find rocks out there that taste salty. They used to say it was because of all the tears we slaves shed.
Most likely, that was actually rock salt that they found. When our provisions ran low, Miguel would often bring some back for us to use. At the time, we used it because it's all we had. But now there's something hearty about rock salt I like. Even more than table salt.
Is it possible, perhaps, to find any rock salt in these parts?
It is. You have to know what you're looking for, but when I find any, I always break some up to refill our supply. The flavor even changes depending on what kind of terrain it comes from. Sometimes I end up collecting more than we need, just in case we like it.
Wow, Kisara's really serious about her salt.
You can always count on Kisara to be earnest. That's why we have to do our part and not add any more to her burden.
What?
Where are you going?
Since when do I need your permission to move around?
I wasn't saying that you do. Though I'm not sure why you're biting my head off about it either.
Oh, that's so typical of you. How can you be so relaxed about all this? At this very moment, the enemy is doing who knows what behind the scenes. And yet we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs in Ganeth Haros.
I know that. But our hands are tied right now. What do you want me to do? And what's gotten into you anyway? Is there something you want to say to me, Shion?
Look, you're right. Forget I said anything.
If I said something to hurt you, I'm sorry. But I honestly don't know what I said to upset you so much. I really wish you would tell me.
You don't need to apologize. You didn't say anything. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. Not really.
Then why?
Please just drop it. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. If that's what you want, I won't push any further.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just don't be too hard on yourself, okay?
I'm changing her outfit. Take off the devil horns. You know what? Shaded Esther.
No way! All right.
Having to inform a mother her son died isn't an easy thing to do. Sorry.
Yes.
All right.
Wow, can't even grieve properly.
How can she think of putting her son to rest as work?
Because that's the way people were made to think about every aspect of their lives.
I know she doesn't mean anything bad by it. I know that, but
It looks like she went out of town to take care of her son's body.
That's a little concerning. There's Zoogles roaming around out there. We should follow after her.
Mm-hmm.
We should be able to cook here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What?
I'm afraid not.
I'm sorry.
Rinwell,
Huh?
Phew. Good.
Right.
That little speech you gave back there was pretty impressive, Alphen.
If you call letting your emotions get the better of you impressive, sure.
It made them stop fighting with each other, right? However you managed it. You knocked some sense into Rinwell and Dohalim, and that mother.
Yeah. I can see my decision to travel with you was well made.
Something's eating at you again, huh?
I don't know if I would say that. I mean... Actually, I guess I do have one or two things on my mind. My people, we lived in hiding, so we never really experienced the full extent of Renan oppression. Not directly, anyway. After Almadria killed my mother and father, though, I guess that's when I started hating them so much. The Renans, I mean. But then I think of all those people who were born into slavery. The ones who never even got angry in the first place because it was all they ever knew.
I hear you. Every city we've been to, it's the Resistance that gets labeled the troublemakers for having the guts to do the right thing.
When it comes down to it, sometimes I wonder which of us really has the better way.
You can't let your anger eat away at you, Rinwell. But then again, losing your parents that way... Hell, who could really blame you for it if you did? I guess what I'm trying to say is... sorry. Hell, it's hard putting this stuff into words.
No, I get it. You're saying that grief and anger are different than hatred. I never thought of it like that. But hearing you say it, it makes sense. Thanks, Law.
You're welcome?
I guess it's a brother-sister relationship. Oops.
I think we've helped these people just about as much as we can. They're going to need more long-term aid than we can provide on our own.
You're right. We need to ask the other realms to send help, and fast. Another reason to hurry and find a way out of Ganath Haros.
Agreed. We'll start looking for a way out tomorrow. For now, we should spend the day resting up while we can.
What?
The Death Star.
What's that noise?
Helfin, this is bad! Look at the sky!
Huh?
Uh-oh. There goes the, things we're gonna have to fight. The elementals, I guess. Oh boy. Is it firing back at them or what? I'm interested in who's pulling the. I mean, I know the Red Woman is so far the big bad threat for now, but there's got to be more to it than just.
What's happening to Rena and Lenegis?
Quote unquote her.
It looks like Lenegis is transforming? But into what? What's going on?
Terraforming.
How the hell are we supposed to fight the Renans if they're packing that kind of arsenal?
It seems they've broken their silence at last. My concern is that object they've dropped into the water. It's as if they're driving a literal wedge into Dana.
Not just into Dana, but her own resistance too. And what's with that beam of light coming down from above? Got any idea what that could be?
Astral energy.
Are you serious? All of that is astral energy? But that...
It's a lot for sure. Not even all the astral energy harvested by every lord combined compares to that column.
They're trying to squeeze every last bit of energy out of the planet.
Alright, Final Fantasy.
But why? I thought they only needed to harvest astral energy as part of the crown contest.
Who cares? If we don't stop it now, the whole of Dana is going to be hollowed into oblivion.
Oblivion.
Do you think that Red Woman is behind this?
It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Just as the Sovereign, the Maiden, and all 5 Master Cores are gathered in one location, she appears out of nowhere bearing a 6th core. She then forces the 2 of you to help her assemble the Renis Alma. Just what kind of person is this woman?
You mean you don't know her?
Pardon?
She was there at your palace, wasn't she? I figured you knew who she was.
Are you saying I should be familiar with this woman?
Well, sure. I remember seeing her with you back at Adelina Palace several times. Everyone in the guard always wondered who she was.
Now that you mention it, I remember seeing her with Balsif too.
I do too.
You saw her, right, Shion? Shion?
Oh, sorry, I drifted off. As far as I remember, the first time I saw her was when we ran into her in Pelagian.
Seriously? How could you two not notice her before? She sticks out like a sore thumb.
I guess I always figured she kept an eye on the lords for the Renin top brass.
You're sure you don't remember ever seeing her before?
I'm certain of it. My memory has never failed me.
But if it's not that, then...
We'll get to the bottom of this later. Right now, that wedge is a bigger concern.
Well, what are we gonna do then? We're not gonna be able to leave Ganeth Heros until we come up with a plan, right?
Cyslodia lies beyond the northern mountain range.
Yeah, but we haven't found a single route through those mountains while we've been here. And we haven't gotten clues from any of the freed locals either.
Surely there must be a way through. This realm can't have been completely isolated from the rest of the outside world for 300 years. Volron may have simply sealed and hidden it.
Okay, then let's try asking the townspeople again if they know anything. Who knows? We might have missed something the first time around.
Sounds good to me. Better that than trying to build a boat from scratch. Let's start searching.
That must be Rena's true power.
I imagined there would be something, but not to this extent.
What's gonna happen now?
We ask around. Let's do what we can.
Hey, when that wedge dropped down on Dana, did anyone else see any weird lights shoot out with it?
Indeed. As I recall, it was 4 lights, each one a different color and going in a separate direction.
That's what I saw too. What were they?
Hold on. A lot just happened here, so let's take a minute. For now, let's focus on one thing at a time.
Those are the 4 things we have to fight now. It's like starting over completely. First 4 lords, now 4 entities. Deities, I don't know. That's all you got to say? I knew she'd know. It's always the third person, the third place you look, third person you talk to.
Where are these Forland Mountains exactly?
Those are the mountains you encountered.
Armored soldiers!
Some of Volron's former guards.
Let's take them out quick before things get messy.
All glory unto Volron!
Lay down your arms, and no one has to get hurt.
Silence! Traitors like you shall never walk free!
I knew you were stubborn, but you don't have to be so damn dramatic.
You picked the wrong guy!
Do
Wide open!
It won't escape
If
me.
it's in the sky, it's
Not
mine!
today!
It's time to feel some hurt!
Slice! You picked the wrong guy! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Shine!
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
Acceleration! Nope! In an instant! Impact cross! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
You picked the wrong
Flame
fight!
of Fury! Burning Strike!
Slice!
Mega Ray! It's now! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
That was quick.
What's with the hole here? Is that supposed to be their hideout?
It doesn't look like it's freshly dug, whatever it is. Maybe it's the entrance to a path to Cyslodia. Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go.
She probably mad at him for not getting rid of those thorns.
I don't know when it happened, but we sure are hauling a lot of stuff these days.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Glad to hear I'm not the only one.
We should probably clear some stuff out, like our old weapons we're not using anymore. They must be in pretty bad shape by now.
No way. Those are still good as new with a little polishing. If anything, I'd say all our armor is what's weighing us down.
But that armor's also still good once you fix it up. Besides, better to have too much armor than too little. You can trust me on that one.
Well, what about all these dumb old antiques we're lugging
You are always falling out, Carissa.
around? If we sell those off, that should lighten our load.
Simpletons such as yourself who can't appreciate the true worth of such things is how precious art vanishes from history.
Pretty art's not gonna save you in a fight, man.
Stop it, you guys! This is no time to...
All I really meant to say is, you can tell how much we've been through by everything we're carrying around. Honestly, that's all.
Oh.
My deepest apologies. It appears that I may have rather overreacted.
Yeah, I guess it's only natural we'd have so many souvenirs by now. I might have been out of line too.
I guess all this stuff really is a sign of how far we've come together.
Yeah, every little piece is its own treasure filled with memories.
I need to be stronger.
Alright. I'm
This
sure
place is rather gloomy.
Why don't you lighten the mood for us while we're here then?
I'll see what I can do.
I'm sure we'll be able to go back and forth between here and Danon at some point.
Out of our way!
Double demon fang!
We're surrounding us by the power
Shine!
of water!
Radiant light!
Annihilation!
Simian pests! I shall seal you where you stand!
Here!
Allow me to help you!
Water,
I owe you one.
hear my call!
Coming through! It's too fast!
Stand back! I'll
Now!
trip it up!
Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you
My
more!
turret throbs in pain!
Strike!
You're mine!
It's over!
Catapult!
Healing
To the
circle!
flame
ready.
What would I
inside me!
do without
Yours
you?
to be let free! Tear!
Thanks!
Strike!
Just what I needed.
Hurricane!
Ready to go! Lunar
Here I
Parade!
come!
I'll grind you into dust!
That was almost too easy.
No enemy can stand against us.
If only every battle went so well. You've noticed it, haven't you?
Notice what?
I'm referring to Shion.
I never thought you, of all people, would come to me about her.
Yes, well, what concerns me has more to do with what machinations may be currently unfolding in secret on Lenegis as we make our way along this tunnel.
And you're saying it's related to Shion in some way?
Perhaps. She believed there was a good possibility that the Renis Alma may free her from her thorns. One would think after losing the Renis Alma, she would be more dismayed, and yet she isn't. Why? There's also the matter of the power that she inherited from...
I'm
You
glad they
heard
bringing
what she
this up.
said. She didn't know about the Maiden's power.
Mere ignorance does not preclude her deep connection to the events unfolding around us. You recall when her thorns went rampant in Castle Del Faris. I've never seen dark astral energy manifest in such a way.
I thought you said all Renans had dark astral energy inside of them.
Correct. However, what Shion exhibited was far beyond what any ordinary citizen could ever possibly possess. And let me be clear. I do not intend to cast doubt on Shion, or her motives. Nevertheless, I cannot shake the feeling that there's more to all of this than what we currently know. Do you disagree? Courteous, aren't you?
Lightning condemned!
Searing flame!
Thunder blade!
Come one, come all!
Resonate with the earth!
Magna Ray!
Rising
I can
Viper!
shatter any steel!
Raging
Magna
sword!
Ray!
Radiant light!
Celestial!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
I'm in your deck, Dohalim.
Then tonight's meal is on you.
You got it.
Where are you going?
Here I come!
Mag far enough!
Rising
Now!
Viper! Dohalim! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Don't get careless.
It's obvious that people used to go through here in order to get to the other realms.
You think Volron really did seal it off to keep it hidden then?
Seems like it. Those soldiers we encountered might have known about it. Chosen to hide out here.
But with the entrance collapsed and exposed, they must have been forced to come out of hiding.
don't know why it does that.
Onto your
feeling
arms.
about this.
Here I come.
Everlasting
You're mine!
Not in your dreams.
Strike! Double demon
Are those
fang!
arms even natural?
Now you see what I can do!
Radiant? This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Flying freeze!
Why can't they
Resonate
just
with
sit
the
still?
Sia,
Leave the
can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Pummeling to
Don't
me!
feel better.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Freeze, Lancer.
I'm not done!
Thunder field.
Double
Now.
demon fang!
Tempest!
You're mine!
Air
Elusive deity!
No escape!
Here I go. Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
You got company.
Okay, I don't get it. Why? Oh,
Take this! Double demon fang!
Elusive deity!
Lunar corruption. Dance in the
Hurricane
wind by the
thrust!
power of
Tear!
water.
Hurricane
That's
thrust!
excellent. Prime defense. Now I've seen
On
everything.
your knees!
Here, let me help.
We got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
In a bind?
All yours!
I'll heal. Don't mind if I do.
Here I come! It's go time!
Dance in the
Double
wind.
demon fang!
Sleep now.
Now I can let loose!
Thanks, Sia.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Primed
I'll do
and
better.
ready.
I'm not done!
Gemini Aqua. Raging Storm. Annihilation.
Tear! Hurricane thrust! Burn!
You're really, really strong,
I'll
Alvin.
face you!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around.
As impressive as always.
Here I hoped I was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Sion actually look flustered.
I'm not done!
Raging Cascade.
I'll face
Here
you!
I come!
The Tempest and...
This could be useful.
I see supplies and other signs people were living here. Even Zoogle cages.
Definitely looks like this is where the remnants of Volron's forces hold themselves up. Yeah.
They were hiding in a place like this all along.
Gotta break through!
Take it. Go back.
bathed in blood.
Take it.
Rending
Magna
your
Ray. Dance in the wind. Mine.
Now or
Air
never.
thrust. Magna Ray.
Not today!
Your wings won't save you from me.
Magna Ray.
Double demon fang!
Can't get out of this!
Now.
Johalim!
All yours, Kisara!
Purge malevolence. Arcade. Arc seal. Freeze. Don't mind if I do.
Tempest! Catapult!
Where are you going?
Now.
Here I come!
Magna Ray.
Swallow blade!
Not so smug now. Leave the enemy's arc to me. Hear me. Flame of fury.
No complaints here!
Rising wyvern!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
Rising
Burning
wyvern!
strike.
Anything
How
you
about
want!
this? Searing gale!
This'll come in handy. The water.
Magna Ray.
Flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Green bathed in blood.
Here I come!
Raging
Swallow
cascade.
blade!
Now.
On your knees.
Sword
Dance
lane
in the
alpha!
wind.
Blow away!
Air pressure!
Great!
We got some good equipment! I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally. Coming through.
Screw escape!
Bathed in blood.
Radiant here!
Bloody holiday!
I'll take you all on!
Now you see what I can do!
I'll heal you all!
In a bind?
Here I come!
Prepare to be sealed, oh fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Take this! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Might with
This I'll heal you all!
You're mine!
Celestial hammer!
No escape!
Ice healing
Double
circle!
demon fang!
Razor cyclone!
Okay, here I go. Okay, here I go.
Thanks for the healing.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Resonate
with the earth.
You're mine! Not a
Annihilation!
chance!
Strike! Radiant pierce!
No escape!
air pressure!
You're mine!
Field!
Double demon
Earth
fang!
malevolence!
You're
Archaic
finished!
waterfall! By the power of Foreigner! Mega ray! Now!
Cut!
Annihilation! Get on in there with the
Double
others!
demon fang! I still got a ways to go.
Tell me, Alphen, wherever did you learn how to wield a sword?
I was wondering the same thing too, actually. I'm guessing you knew how to fight before you met the Crimson Crows, right?
I used to be a soldier who served a Danon master. I never saw the guy's face, but I still fought for him because he was my employer. Looking back, it wasn't all that different from being a slave.
A Danon master? That must have been before the Renans brought you to Lenegis 300 years ago.
You must fight using real Danon techniques then.
Really? We used to have our own sword arts?
There's a lot of our own history we've lost since the Renans first invaded. It's not all magic and art. I'm sure it includes things like sword styles too. It's incredible and also a little surreal to see those arts still survive after all this time.
Not only that, but I first learned these moves while serving one ruler, only to end up turning my sword on the ruling class altogether. Pretty ironic when you think about it.
I apologize if I dredged up unfortunate memories for you.
Nah, we're good. It's in the past now. All we ever did in those days was stir up trouble.
You're using those skills for a good cause now. It's not all bad.
I suppose this is what people mean when they say that every cloud has its silver lining.
Exactly. He's using those sword skills to make the world better. Could be a lot worse.
True enough. I will stop worrying about mentioning it then.
I won't forgive you!
Ready and raring.
Tear! Hurricanes come and face me!
Tempest power of water!
Rising Wyvern!
Searing flame!
Hurricane burn!
Dance on the wind!
Cyclone!
Hurricane thrust! Tear! Hurricane
Lunar
thrust!
corruption! This one's mine!
Now! Hurricane thrust!
Ridwell!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Tear!
Look here now!
Elusive! Our superiority was undeniable.
It feels invigorating to dominate a battle.
I was certain I saw you yawn.
Come now, I'm certainly not that relaxed.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
How much do they have to steal from us to be satisfied?
What's that thing's purpose, anyway? Some kind of siphon that sends the astral energy the Lords harvested to Lenegis?
Not as far as I'm aware. That said, it has become evident since the forming of the Renaissance, as well as other recent events, that my insight may be thin. I would, as I believe the saying goes, take what I say with a grain of salt.
No, Halim.
At the very least, I believe we can assume that whoever is pulling the strings behind the scenes has had this in the works for quite some time.
Why's that?
The people on Lenegis may have plenty of resources at their disposal, but not even they could prepare something like that in a mere month. Something of that magnitude takes considerable time, as well as a predetermined goal in mind.
Then what was the crown contest for?
At this stage, I think it was but one step in the greater scheme we see unfolding before us. What that scheme is exactly, I haven't a clue. For now, I believe we should keep moving. The path continues. It's quite possible it will take us all the way to Cislodia.
Agreed. Let's keep moving.
So Shion's thorns are dark astral energy.
Rinwell, are you worried about Shion?
Of course I am. But I don't know how to talk to her about it.
You and me both.
Alright, people. You know what? Alright, I'll continue in a short while. I'll be back to the loop.